Welcome to deathtalker.com. I'm Molly Carlisle, the Death Talker. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about palliative care, mainly because whenever I mention palliative care in public, people say to me, well, what the hell's that? And if I turn the question back on them and say, well, what do you think it is? Often the answers I get is, oh, it's about looking after old people, or it's about looking after kids, or it's about looking after people who have disabilities. Well, yes, no, and maybe to all of those things. Palliative care is specialist care and practical support for people diagnosed with a terminal illness. Now, that is a really complex way of saying that palliative care will provide assistance and support to anyone who has a disease that's going to end their lives sooner than they had otherwise thought. So the common one is cancer, and you know, a lot of people who are accessing palliative care services actually have end-stage cancer. But cancer isn't the only cause of a terminal illness. And in fact, with our growing rates of obesity and chronic illness and things like the ageing population, more people are dying of illnesses like dementia now and will be in the future, and they are going to more and more require the assistance of palliative care services. So at the end of the day, palliative care provides care for anybody who has a terminal diagnosis. Now that could be a little baby who's born with multiple abnormalities or multiple birth defects that mean they're not going to live very long, all the way through to an elderly person with advanced dementia. So you can see that patients who access palliative care come from a broad range of age groups. They have a broad range of illnesses, and of course they come from a wide variety of cultural backgrounds, wide variety of nationalities, and a wide variety of life experiences. As we've said, everybody dies eventually, but not everybody knows that they are going to die sooner rather than later. And patients and families who access palliative care services actually have that knowledge. They know that their death is going to occur sooner rather than later, and palliative care services help them to come to terms with the inevitability of their death. Palliative care is not just about managing physical pain. It's about holistic symptom management, which means helping people to come to terms with their emotional pain and their psychological pain and fear and anxiety and the spiritual elements of confronting their mortality, and the cultural influences that impact on how they experience their life up into their death. So it's quite a complex range of services that are provided by palliative care. It can also be provided in a range of environments. You know, we try and make sure that people die in their place of choice, which means that if you want to die at home, palliative care services can support you in doing that. If you don't want to die at home, there are inpatient services provided in big tertiary hospitals, so specific wards that are for palliative care patients. And some patients actually die in acute wards, particularly those patients who've been under the care of a specific medical team for a long time. Someone who's been on renal dialysis, for instance, for a long time might choose to stay in the acute environment being cared for by the people that they know. And palliative care services will come in and support those primary carers in providing that care. So palliative care is a very complex and extensive program of care provided not just to the person who is dying, but to their family and to their significant friends and relatives, both during the process of the person's death and as bereavement support after the person has died. Palliative care services are available in all states of Australia and internationally. So if you want to find out some more about where your local palliative care service is, all you need to do is Google palliative care and the suburb or state or town in which you live, and you'll come up with a range of organisations that are providing palliative care support in your area. And then all you need to do is ring them up and say you need assistance. Even if it's some time down the track and you've had a relative on a palliative care program and you feel that you need a bit of bereavement support, contact your local palliative care service because they'll always be able to assist you.